Good morning, everyone. The assigned topic to me is the fundamental principle of counting addition rule. The problems that I will solve is the students are classified according to gender, male or female, regular or irregular students, and field of specialization, mathematics, physics, business, or languages. So the question is, how many possible classifications are there? So first, we will count the regular in male, mathematics, business, physics, and languages. And also in irregular, also same in regular, mathematics, business, physics, languages. And in female, there are also regular and irregular. The same on male, there are mathematics, business, physics, languages. So if you will add the regular and irregular in male and female, the answer will be 12. We can also multiply it. 4 times 4 equals 12.
Hello everyone, welcome sa aking tutorial. So in this tutorial, we will discuss about permutation. So what is permutation? Every arrangement in order of a set of things is called a permutation. Thus, the set of the letters M, S, A, if we use all of them, can be arranged in the following order. So, sa permutation, kung paano mo i-arrange ang isang bagay na nagmamatter. In short, arrangement of the object that will be matter. And how many arrangement in the object? So, here is the example of permutation. MSA, SMA, pwede din MAS, SAM, AMS, and ASM. So, there are arrangement. So, we see there are 6 permutations. The total number of permutations of R objects that can be formed from N object is denoted by permutation of N taken R at a time. So, the formula is this. So, ang basa po nito is permutation of N taken R at a time is equals to N factorial over the quantity of N minus R factorial. So, P is the total number of permutations. The N is the total number of objects in the set. R is the total number of chosen objects in the set. So in permutation, there are types of permutation. Number 1, permutation without repetition or linear permutation. Number 2, permutation without repetition or replacement. Number 3, distinguishable permutation. Number 4, circular permutation. But we will focus about permutation without repetition or linear permutation and distinguishable permutation. So, in permutation without repetition, so here are the sample. So here is the problem number 1. Permutation of 9 taken 3 at a time. So this is the formula. So let's substitute this problem. 9 factorial over the copy that 9, the quantity of 9 minus 3 factorial. So ima-minus natin siya is equals to 9 factorial over 6 factorial kasi 9 minus 3 is equal to 6 factorial. So expand natin siya for factorial. So 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So, for 6 factorial, pwede din natin siyang sa 9 ay stop natin siya dito sa 6. So, ang matitira na lang is 6 kasi 6 factorial. Kasi ika-cancel out naman natin siya. So, para mas maintindihan natin, so i-copy natin itong lahat. So, 6 factorial, 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So, i-cancel natin siya. Cancel. So, ang matitira na lang is 9 times 8 times 7. So, kapag pinag-compute mo yan, is ang kakalabasan is 504. Kasi, 9 times 8 times 7 is equals to 504. So, that is permutation without repetition or linear permutation. So, let's focus to or let's proceed to the next types of permutation. The distinct or distinguishable permutation. So, the number of distinguishable permutation P of n object where m object are like, n object are alike, and so on. So, P is equals to n factorial over m factorial n factorial, or P is equals to n factorial over a factorial or b factorial. So, let's proceed now to the problems in distinct or distinguishable permutation. So, here are the problem of distinct or distinguishable permutation. So, find the number of distinct permutation of the letter of the word commotion. So, sa solution natin, ang common letter of the word commotion, C is 1, yung O, 1, 2, 3. So, O is equals to 3. Yung letter na 1 count lang naman ay hindi na natin siya isasama kasi hindi naman siya makakasali na. So, O is equals to 3, 1, 2, 3. M is equals to 2. Yung T is 1. Yung I is 1. Yung N, 1. Kaya hindi natin siya isasama. So, gaya ng sinabi ko, ito ang ating formulang gagamitin. So, O is equals to 3. M is equals to 2. Highlight natin siya from the word commotion. So, let's compute. So, P, so i-substitute natin. Pwede natin tong gamitin kung para hindi kayo malito kasi same letter siya. So, gawin nyong ibahin A factorial or B factorial. Kahit naman anong letter ilagay nyo dyan pwede. So, sa i-substitute natin, P is equals to 9 factorial, O is equals to 3, so 3 factorial, and 2 factorial kasi yung M2. So, 2 factorial. So, i-factorial natin is equals to yung 9 factorial. 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 and times 1. So, i-copy natin yung 3 factorial. 3 times 2 times 1 and 2 times 1. So, ang una muna natin gagawin is i-cancel out natin yung denominator na 3 times 2 times 1. Cancel and then cancel. So, may matitirang 2 times 1. So, paano yan? So, ang gagawin natin, i-divide natin siya sa 2. I-divide natin yung, i-cancel natin yung 4. And then, gawin na lang natin siyang 2. Kasi, yung 2, dito natin siya i-cancel out. And then, ang matitira na lang is 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 2. Kasi, kinancel out natin yung 4. So, multiply this number, 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 2 is equals to 30,240. So, that is distinct or distinguishable permutation. So, maraming salamat para sa panunood. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss about lesson 4.3, which is combination. So, what is combination? Combination, it is an arrangement of objects or things without reference to the order in which they are arranged. The number of possible combination of R object from a collection of n objects is given by the formula where number of combination n equals total number of object in the set, R equals number of choosing object from the set. We come now for the exercise 4.3. 15 combination of 10. Formula use n combination of R equals n factorial over the quantity of n minus R factorial times R factorial. Solution. Plugging our numbers, we get 15 combination of 10 equals 15 factorial over 15 minus 10 factorial times 10 factorial. Calculate the numerator of n factorial, which is 15 factorial. 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over, calculate this first denominator, which is 15 minus 10 factorial equals 5 factorial. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Then, calculate the second denominator, which is 10 factorial. 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Cancel both. Then, calculate our combination value. 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 equals 360,360 over 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 equals 120. Divide 360,360 divide 120 equals 3003. So, 15 combination of 10 equals 3003. Second example, in how many ways can a committee of 3 be formed from a group of 10 members? Given n equals 10, R equals 3. Formula: n combination of R equals n factorial over the quantity of n minus R factorial times R factorial. Solution: n combination of R equals n factorial over n minus R factorial times R factorial. Plugging the numbers, we get 10 combination of 3 equals 10 factorial over the quantity of 10 minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial. Then, 10 factorial over 10 minus 3 factorial equals 7 factorial times 3 factorial. Then 10 times 9 times 8 divide 3 times 2 times 1. Next, 10 times 9 times 8 equals 720. Divide 3 times 2 times 6 equals 6. Divide 720 divide 6 equals 120. So, 10 combination of 3 equals 120. Therefore, there are 120 ways a committee of 3 can be formed from a group of 10 members. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, let's talk about General Additional Rule. General Additional Rule is a section which covers the case when two events have an elements in common. Exercise 5.2. Number 1. Given two events A and B that probability of A is equals to 0.67, probability of B is equals to 0.23, and probability of events intersection is equals to 0.12. So find each probability. So in A, find the probability of set A, and to the B is find the probability of event union. So let's start. We use the 1 minus P in probability of event A. 1 minus 0.67 is the value of probability of event A. 0.67 equals 0.33 or 33%. So that is the probability that we will find in probability of event A, 33%. We can go now to the next one. Probability of A, event A plus probability of event B minus probability of events in intersection. So we'll put the probability of event A, which is 0.67, adding or plus the probability of event B, which is 0.23, minus 0.12, which is the probability of events of intersection. 0.9 minus 0.12 equals 0.78 or 78%. So that is the probability that you will find in letter B. We'll go now to the problem number 2. The probability of a student owning a cell phone is 0.43. Of owning an MP3 player is 0.38. And of owning a boat is 0.28. If a student is selected at random, find its probability that he or she own a cell phone or an MP3 player. So we can use this equation that I written. P, probability of A and B, is equals to probability of event A plus probability of event B minus probability of events of intersection. So let's start. 0.43 plus 0.38 minus 0.28. So 0.43 plus 0.38 is equals to 0.81 minus 0.28, which is the value of probability of events of intersection. So 0.53 is the answer, or 53%. So there are 53% chances that he or she owning a cell phone or MP3 player. So I write it, the analysis of the problem number 2, that 53% of chances that he or she owning a cell phone or MP3 player. Owning a cell phone or MP3 player. So that's all for today, and thank you.